The nation of Pan is divided into 12 districts, ruled from the capital. As punishment for a failed revolt, each district is forced to select 2 tributes, one boy and one girl, between the ages of 12 and 18, to fight to the death in the annual Hunger Games, until there is only one survivor. After her 12-year-old sister Primrose is chosen for the 74th Hunger Games, 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen of District 12 volunteers to take her place. She and fellow tribute Peeta Mellark are escorted to the capital by their chaperone, Effie Trinket, and mentor, Haymitch Abernathy, the game's only living winner from District 12. Haymitch stresses the importance of gaining sponsors as they can provide potentially life-saving gifts during the games. While training, Katniss observes the other tributes, including volunteers from the wealthy Districts 1 and 2, also known as the Careers, who have trained for the games from an early age. During a televised interview with Caesar Flickerman, Peeta expresses his love for Katniss, which she initially sees as an attempt to attract sponsors. She later learns his admission is genuine. At the start of the games, Katniss ignores Haymitch's advice and grabs some of the supplies placed around the cornucopia, a structure at the starting point, and narrowly escapes death. Half of the 24 tributes die in the initial melee, and only 11, including those from Districts 1 and 2, survive the first day. Katniss tries to stay away from the others, but Seneca Crane, the head game maker, triggers a forest fire to drive her towards them. She runs into the Careers, with whom Peeta has seemingly allied, and flees up a tree. Peeta advises the Careers to wait her out. The next morning, Katniss notices Rue, District 11's young female tribute, hiding in an adjacent tree. Rue draws attention to a nest of tracker jackers, genetically modified poisonous wasps. Using a knife, Katniss saws off the branch holding the nest, causing it to fall on the Careers sleeping below. One of them, named Glimmer, dies, but the others escape. Katniss becomes disoriented from being stung a few times. Peeta returns and tells her to flee. Rue helps Katniss recover, and they become friends and allies. Katniss destroys the supplies the Careers stockpiled by detonating mines guarding them, while Rue provides a distraction. Katniss later finds and frees Rue from a trap, but one of the Careers, named Marvel, throws a spear at Katniss, which impales Rue. Katniss kills him with an arrow. She comforts Rue, and after she dies, covers her body with flowers. This triggers a riot in District 11. President Coriolanus Snow warns Crane about the unrest. Haymitch persuades Crane to change the rules to allow 2 winners, provided they are from the same district, suggesting that this will pacify the public. After the announcement, Katniss finds a gravely wounded Peeta. Another announcement promises that what each survivor needs the most will be provided at the cornucopia the next morning. Despite Peeta's opposition, Katniss leaves to get medicine for him, but she is ambushed and overpowered by another one of the Careers, named Clove, who gloats about Rue's death and prepares to kill her. District 11's male tribute Thresh overhears and kills Clove. He spares Katniss once because of her relationship with Rue. The medicine heals Peeta overnight. While hunting for food, Katniss hears a cannon go off, signaling a death. She races to Peeta, who has unwittingly collected deadly nightlock berries. They discover Foxface, District 5's female tribute, dead from eating what she assumed were edible berries from watching Peeta. Crane then unleashes genetically modified beasts, which kill Thresh and force Katniss, Peeta, and the final Career Cato, all of whom are the last 3 survivors, onto the cornucopia's roof. Cato gets Peeta in a headlock and uses him as a human shield against Katniss's bow. Peeta directs Katniss to shoot Cato's hand, enabling Peeta to throw him to the beasts below. Katniss kills him with an arrow to end his suffering. Crane then revokes the rule change, allowing 2 victors to win. Peeta urges Katniss to shoot him, but she convinces him to eat Nightlock together. Just before they do, Crane hastily declares them co-victors. Afterward, Haymitch warns Katniss that she has made enemies through these acts of defiance. President Snow has Crane locked in a room with Nightlock berries, after which the wily president considers his next move. Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark now live in Victor's Village in District 12, a wealthy neighborhood which is present in every district and is where the victors of various Hunger Games reside. President Snow visits Katniss and explains that her actions in the games have inspired uprisings. He orders her to use the upcoming victory tour to convince him that her actions were out of love and not defiance against the capital, warning her that her friends, family, and District 12 will otherwise suffer. During the tour, Katniss's mentor, Haymitch, warns her that victors of the games must serve as mentors to future tributes, and that their show of love will be forced to continue for the rest of their lives. Peacekeepers enter District 12 to crack down on illegal activity, and Katniss's friend Gale is publicly whipped after attacking the head peacekeeper. Haymitch, Peeta, and Katniss use their influence as Hunger Games victors to save Gale from execution. The upcoming Hunger Games, the 75th overall and the 3rd Quarter Quell, is announced and will involve tributes selected from previous victors. Katniss devotes herself to ensuring Peeta survives. On Reaping Day, Haymitch's name is drawn, but Peeta immediately volunteers to take his place. Haymitch reveals that tributes are angry about being forced to return to the games and will most likely attempt to stop it. For her pre-games interview, Katniss wears a wedding dress as ordered by Snow, but her stylist Cinna sets it to transform into a symbol of a mockingjay. Peeta announces that he and Katniss, who had previously announced their engagement during their victory tour in an unsuccessful attempt to quell the districts, are expecting a child. The citizens then protest for the games to be stopped to no avail. Just before Katniss enters the arena, Cinna is severely beaten by peacekeepers in front of her as punishment for his tampering with her dress and then dragged away. Once the games begin, Katniss allies with District 4 tributes Finnick Odair and the elderly Mags, his mentor. When the arena's force field shocks Peeta, stopping his heart, Finnick resuscitates him. The group is forced to flee from a poisonous fog. When Peeta cannot go on, Meg sacrifices herself so that Finnick can help him. When mandrills attack, Peeta is saved by the unexpected sacrifice of a tribute from District 6. The group escapes to the beach, where Finnick greets District 3's Wyrus and Beatty, and District 7's Joanna Mason. Wyrus repeats the phrase, "tick-tock," leading Katniss to realize that the arena is designed like a clock, with regular hazards each hour contained within their respective zones. Wyrus's throat is slit by Gloss. Gloss is then fatally shot by Katniss while Joanna kills his sister, Kashmir. Finnick is injured by another career, and the game makers spin the clock to disorient the tributes. BT suggests luring the rest of the careers to the wet beach and electrocuting them. The group separates to prepare the trap, laying down wire. Joanna cuts the tracker out of Katniss's arm and flees. Katniss finds an unconscious BT. Unable to find Peeta, and hearing a cannon, Katniss almost kills Finnick, thinking he betrayed them, but he reminds her to remember who the real enemy is. Katniss attaches wire to an arrow and shoots it into the arena roof just as lightning strikes. The lightning is conducted along the wire, causing the arena shields to fail and the roof to fall, and Katniss is knocked unconscious. Katniss awakens in an aircraft to find Haymitch, BT, who is still unconscious, Finnick, and Plutarch Heavensby, the head game maker, who is revealed to be a rebel against Snow. He tells her they are bound for District 13, headquarters of the new rebellion, and that half the tributes were aware of the plan to escape with Katniss, who symbolizes the growing rebellion. They were unable to rescue Peeta and Johanna as they still have their trackers on them. A distraught Katniss is sedated after attacking Haymitch for not keeping his promise. She awakens to find Gale by her side, who reassures her that her family is safe, but that District 12 has been destroyed by the Capitol. After being rescued from the destroyed arena in the 75th Hunger Games, tributes Katniss Everdeen, BT, and Finnick Odair are taken to District 13, a below-ground district isolated from Pan Am that has been spearheading the rebellion. Katniss is reunited with her mother and her sister Prim, and is introduced to President Alma Coin, the rebel leader. Katniss is told that her arrow destroying the force field led to riots in over half the districts, joining District 13 in the rebellion, which caused President Snow to bomb District 12 in retaliation. Coin asks her to become the Mockingjay, a symbol of the rebellion, as part of a hearts and minds strategy. Katniss reluctantly agrees after seeing Peeta being manipulated on state television to quell the rebellion. She visits the ruins of District 12, her old house somehow untouched with white roses from President Snow inside. Katniss meets her film team and is given Effie Trinket as a stylist and close friend Gale as a bodyguard. They go to District 8, where Katniss is filmed being saluted by dozens of wounded civilians at a hospital. Snow, seeing the footage, orders an airstrike at the hospital, killing everyone inside. The crew films Katniss and Gale shooting down 2 Capitol hovercraft, and Katniss's rage-filled threat, "If we burn, you burn with us." District 7 revolts, shouting the same phrase and killing peacekeepers. Katniss and her team travel to District 12. Katniss is filmed singing a song called The Hanging Tree. Millions of protesters in District 5, singing the same anthem, launch a suicidal human wave attack against a hydroelectric dam that is the capital's primary source of electricity. The attack knocks out power, forcing the capital to revert to secondary generators. That night, Katniss watches Peeta being interviewed when Coin and Beetee hijack the signal to air a clip of Katniss. After seeing it, Peeta suddenly shouts a warning that the capital is about to attack District 13. Coin orders a mass evacuation into deep underground shelters, and the facility survives the attack. Upon emerging, Katniss discovers the area littered with white roses. She concludes that Snow orchestrated this to inform her that whenever she condemns the capital, they'll torture Peeta in retaliation. Coin dispatches an elite Special Forces team to rescue Peeta and the remaining victors that were captured from their prison. Beetee hijacks the capital's defense system with a video narrated by Finnick to convince more districts to side with the rebellion. Gale's team rescues the victors and escapes the capital easily, indicating the capital reduced its security on purpose. When Katniss greets Peeta, he unexpectedly attacks and strangles her into unconsciousness before being knocked out by Boggs. Katniss wakes up and is informed that Peeta has been hijacked, brainwashed into trying to kill her, which explains why the capital allowed them to escape with him. Peeta is placed in solitary confinement, while a serum is developed to reverse the hijacking effects. Coin announces that the rebels' next objective is the capital's principal military stronghold in District 2, now the only district remaining loyal to the capital. After being attacked by a brainwashed Peeta Malark, Katniss Everdeen joins an assault on the capital's armory in District 2. An aggravated civilian named Pugnax shoots her, but she is saved by her bulletproof Mockingjay suit. President Coin refuses to let Katniss join the Star Squad, a group of rebels set to infiltrate the capital, but Joanna offers to cover Katniss while she sneaks on board a helicopter on its way to the Star Squad. She meets up with the team, which includes Gale, a recently married Finnick, and Peeta, who is still not fully recovered. Led by Boggs, the team makes their way to the capital, evading booby-trapped pods placed along the way with Boggs' holographic map. Boggs is fatally wounded by a pod and bestows the holographic map to Katniss before dying. The squad accidentally trigger another pod, releasing a flood of lethal black tar, and Peeta momentarily succumbs to his conditioning and attacks Katniss. Most of the squad escapes, unbeknownst to the capital. Katniss refuses to kill Peeta, but Gale states that he would kill him if needed. The capital broadcasts another message of Snow's denouncement of the rebellion, but the rebels hijack the air, and Coin gives an impassioned eulogy that rallies the rebels. Katniss and the Star Squad attempt to advance through the sewers but are caught on camera. They are ambushed by genetically engineered mutts that kill 4 squad members, including Finnick. Snow invites capital citizens to take shelter at his mansion, forming a human shield. Katniss and Gale plan to sneak into Snow's mansion to assassinate him. On the way, a massive explosion disrupts their plan. In the confusion, peacekeepers herd capital children toward the palace gates, when a hovercraft with a capital insignia bombs the crowd, causing mass casualties. As the rebel medics, including Katniss' sister Prim, tend to the injured, a second wave of bombs are dropped, killing Prim and knocking Katniss unconscious. Katniss awakens, and Haymitch informs her the rebels have won because the senseless bombing turned the capital citizens against Snow. Katniss confronts Snow, who explains that Coin staged the bombing to turn the peacekeepers against him. Katniss realizes Gale had suggested a similar strategy to her, and is stunned when Gale cannot deny his part in Prim's death. Coin calls a meeting of the surviving Hunger Games victors, where she declares herself the interim president of Panem. She calls for a vote for a final Hunger Games, but instead using the children of capital leaders as revenge. Katniss votes yes, under the condition that she is able to execute Snow. At Snow's execution, Katniss kills Coin instead, which causes a riot of citizens to also kill Snow. Peeta stops Katniss from committing suicide and she is arrested. In captivity, Haymitch brings Katniss a letter from Plutarch, assuring she will be pardoned, there will be no last Hunger Games, and she will be able to return to District 12. When Katniss returns to her home in District 12, she screams at Buttercup that Prim is never coming back, before embracing the cat. She finds Peeta, who has fully recovered from his conditioning, and is planting primrose flowers in the garden. They receive a letter from Annie, Finnick's wife, telling them that her and Finnick's son has been born, that Katniss's mother is still treating survivors, and Gale was promoted to captain. Commander Paler is elected the new president of Panem. Years later, Katniss and Peeta, now married, play with their 2 children in a meadow. Their infant cries from a nightmare, and Katniss tells them her story about her time in the games and stating that there are much worse games to play.